journey, my dear students. Let's learn about graph of quadratic function and all the sub-concepts which were present in all other graphs as well, but obviously they are the part of quadratic graph as well. Here is one example that we are supposed to draw the graph of y equals 2x square minus 3x minus 4 within the interval of minus 2 till positive 3. X is varying between minus 2 and 3, and within this limit we are supposed to draw the curve for this function, and then we will answer all the questions mentioned in the question. Here we have table given, and within this interval we are supposed to fill this table if some boxes are blank, for example, or sometimes some unknowns are given. For example, here we have P and Q unknowns here. So the formation of the question is normally that the table is given in exams, but there is possibility that there is no table given and the whole table is student has to develop, fill by solving or calculation for the values of y with the help of values of x. But most of the time it is experienced that only some boxes are blank or some unknown alphabets are there and student has to find the values. Here P and Q are unknowns, so for this particular part we are supposed to find the value of P and Q so that we can illustrate all these points on this coordinate axis, and then we will draw the graph and then we will carry on the rest of parts. Let's see, we will find the value of P and Q by substituting the respective value of x in the given function. Here is y is equal to 2x square minus 3x minus 4. Let's substitute the value of minus 2 here in place of x to get the value of y. Here is y equals, this is 2 and minus 2 whole square minus 3 into minus 2 and minus 4. Let's simplify this. This minus 2, because of this power, will become positive 2, and this positive 2 when multiplied with 2 will give us this 2 squared become positive 4, and when 4 multiplied with 2 it will become 8, and minus times minus will become positive, this will become plus 6, and here we have minus 4, and ultimately plus 8, here is 8 actually, might not be clear, yes, this is 8 plus 6 become plus 14, and we will subtract 4 from this total 14 will give us 10. So in place of P we will substitute the value here, therefore value of P is 10 and we can replace P by 10. And similarly we will calculate the value of Q here by substituting the values. Y is equal to, this is positive 2 here, this is 2 into positive 2 whole square minus this is 3 into positive 2 and minus 4. Let's simplify these values. This will be 2 squared become 4, and 4 2 times 8 again, this is now positive value, and 2 times 3, this is now minus 6 here and minus 4. The negative quantities both when we add become minus 10, and when we subtract it we will get minus 2 here. So therefore the value of Q is minus 2, my dear students. Let's replace Q by minus 2 here, and now we have complete table, and we will draw the graph for this table on this coordinate axis. So then followed by question we will answer with the help of graph. Right, my dear students, let's illustrate all these points. We will label all these points one by one on this coordinate axis. This is minus 2 and 10. Here is minus 2, and we'll move up here. This is 10. And then the next point is minus 1 and 1. Here is minus 1 and here is 1. And then this is 0 and minus 6. Here is 0 value of x and here is minus 6. And the next point is 1 and minus 5. Here is 1 and here is minus 5. And then for 2 this is minus 2. Here is 2 and here is minus 2. It's a little higher instead of that. Alright. And then at 3 this is positive 5. At 3 this is 5 here. And this is the graph, my dear student, after allocating all these points. And now we will look the followed by questions. For here is part number B. Find the value of P and Q that we have done already. And now part C is find y when x is equal to 1.5. If we look at here, where is 1.5? This is 1.5 is between 1 and 2. It's approximately here is 1.5. And what we will do is, with the help of ruler, we will draw, because my dear student, when you will work on graph paper, the background of the graph will help you to exactly draw the straight lines. That will provide you accuracy for your graph. So here is dotted line I will draw, and you are supposed to draw a dotted line as well. You will draw a dotted line with the help of ruler, and I'm drawing by my free hand, but you are supposed to do the point where your this dotted line at the point x is equal to 1.5. When they intersect the curve, then you are supposed to move towards y-axis. Yes, here is your value. For this particular part, your answer is, if you are answering here, answer here. So this is part C. Therefore, the value of y is equal to minus 4 when x is equal to 1.5. The next one is, we are supposed to solve this quadratic equation, and we are supposed to find the solution of this quadratic equation with the help of this graph. And we will use the procedure, my dear students. One of the very important part of normally every graph question, that there is a question that student need to solve with the help of graph. Here is the process. We will consider first this equation whose solution we are supposed to find. 2x square minus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. I'm going to explain this, my dear student. What is the basic concept? What to do whenever we got any equation that we are supposed to solve with the help of graph. First of all, write the equation and then write the function whose graph we have drawn here. And that function is y is equal to 2x square minus 3x minus 4. After writing the given function whose graph we have drawn, right below that equation, now check how much part of the equation is common with the given function. If we look at this, is 2x square is present in both, and then minus 3x, yes, this is also present here. So we will focus on the common number of terms in both these equation and function. If we look at here, here is the portion in the equation which is similar present in the function as well. So what we do is, from the equation all the time, we will find value of this common portion 2x square minus 3x from the equation will be equal to positive 6. What I did, I just get the value of this from this equation by transferring this 6 minus 6 towards the other side. that's become positive here. And the remaining I have these two terms. So the value of these two terms is 6, and we will pick the value of this, that is 6, and we will put in the function that will become y equals 6 minus 4. What I did, I picked the value of these two terms. This is 2x square minus 3x has the value of 6, and replace in front of y is equal to, for these two terms I have replaced 6. Now I will simplify. I will get obviously a linear equation. Now here is the linear equation with a single variable y is equal to 2, my dear students. Always remember, here there are two possibilities. You might get a linear equation with one variable, number one. You might get linear equation with two variables. If this linear equation is like a single variable, so then you are supposed to draw this linear equation directly. No need to do any calculation. But if there will be two variables, then obviously you are supposed to develop the table for -1, 0, 1 points. Then you need to calculate three values by substituting these values of x, and then get the value of y, fill the table, and then you need to locate the points all three and then draw the line. But here we have y is equal to 2, and here is y is equal to 2, my dear students. Here is y is equal to 2. So I will draw a line right that will pass through the point 2 here, and I would like to write the coordinates of this point, and these coordinates are 2 and -2. This point we have already know this from the table, but we are picking from this graph now. And with the help of this tangent line, we need to pick one more one more point. With the help of graph, we need to pick from this tangent line so that we can find gradient. If we check this line, it's passing from here x-axis. This is approximately 2.5 and y component 0. The second point is 2.5 and the y component 0. Now always you need to pick 2 points from the help of this tangent line. On this tangent line, then you will use the gradient formula, that is y2 minus y1. For finding gradient, we will use this formula. This is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's substitute values. Here y2 0, minus y1 is -2 over, this is 2.5 minus 2. Let's simplify. Minus minus will become positive 2, and when we subtract this 2 from 2.5, we will get 0.5, my dear students. And let's have simplified. Remove this decimal, we will get 20 here, and here is 5, and ultimately our answer is 4. So in this way, after picking 2 points, we will use gradient formula, and we will get gradient of the curve at x is equal to 2, my dear students. And now look at the last part. Find least value of y we are supposed to find. In quadratic function, if the coefficient of x square is positive, my dear student, the question like this might come, that you need to find the least value of the function or least value of y. But if the coefficient of x square is positive, the question will be revert that you need to find the maximum possible value of function or maximum value of y. In this case, we are supposed to find the least value, and if you look at this graph, we need to check it out what would be the possible least value. Here is, my dear student, it is looking that might be the 6 as value. It is not necessary all the time it will be exactly from where the line is crossing y-axis. Sometimes it may be equal to that. What we need to do is we need to put ruler here. Put ruler here and check like we were normally we are drawing the tangent line. Put the ruler here and check. Is it helping that only this value is the least one. But sometimes it happens because of the symmetry of the graph, the line goes a little lower than the exact point. This point is here, my dear student, if you check it. Actually, the dot was comparatively larger, big one. So this is moving from here, when it comes, curve down, it's going down here, as compared to this. It's approximately 6.05. The point is, symmetry says that this line coming up and a little going down, and then they coming up towards the high points, and this point is comparatively lesser than the -6. So we can say this is -6.05. We can't say this is a -6.1, but this is not equal to this one. So we will write this value by assessing with the help of ruler, like we assess. We're drawing the tangent line, putting ruler. Now working like a tangent line's symmetry, like we are going to draw a tangent line, that will give you a balance. A horizontal ruler will give you the exact least value. So my dear student, therefore this is part number F, and its answer is the value, least value, let's write it, least value of y could be -6.05. So my dear students, this is the way to handle all these questions related to graph of a quadratic function. This only graph containing least and greatest possible value, and there's no other graph in your syllabus like linear graph, like cubic graph, that you're supposed to find least or greatest possible value. Otherwise, the rest of parts normally common in all graphs that we have done, obviously, and later on after this quadratic graph as well. There are reciprocal graphs, there's exponential graphs as well. So my dear student, keep it up. As from the beginning of this question I guided you for each part, you need to learn the overall structure of the question and pick similar quadratic function and fill the table according to the given range of values, complete the table, then according to the scale, label all these points, draw a curve. If there is error in drawing the curve, you need to get, my dear, practice, because your question is directly related to the perfection of your curve. If your curve is good, very good or excellent, so similarly you will get your answer of these forward parts. Thank you so much.